saw a Batman movie. The Batman movie was like, but they didn't have. It was like an 8 themed remake of like Batman movies. And it's like it's pretty much the same thing that you always see. And there's like a bad guy, and then there's like, but this time they had a Joker. And the Joker, the thing about the Joker was like he wasn't like doing a lot of stuff. Like he wasn't wearing like a lot of the, like all the that razzle dazzle that the Joker was wearing like in the television series. And it's like this is like the 43rd remake of Batman. And it's like once you've seen them all, you've seen them all. And because they had different characters, but they all had the same characters from the other movie, like the Batman Begins. Like this is like the second one, so I guess he's supposed to be like a lot more into the Batman whole thing. And like everyone came back except the girl. I think it was like Rachel Dawson. The girl from Dawson's Creek didn't want to do it, and so they got another girl. They got the girl from Donnie Darko to come in, and so it was like Donnie Darko was like the girl. Like the audience supposed to believe that it was the same girl. And so they go, okay, I'll believe that this is the same girl. And so they started the movie off, and it was like, oh my God, there's a new villain in town. And it's sort of like a Seinfeld episode. It's like, oh, who's the new girlfriend in town? And it's like, who's the new bad guy in town? And it's like, oh, guys, it's Joker. And he's like wrecking off his havoc. And then like he would like get all the bad guys and like I'm gonna shoot you all. And he was shooting all the bad guys. He was more of a good guy than he was a bad guy because he was like stopping all the bad guys. He was doing more good than Batman was, because Batman was always just making more stuff worse and worse and worse. And Batman wasn't even in a real movie. He wasn't even in it a lot, because it was mostly this Joker. And like the Joker was like doing all this stuff where he would like gather up all the bad guys, and then he would like kill them off and go, come with me. And then he goes, no. And he go, bang, 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 bang. And so they would like come around, and then they're like, oh, okay, gather them all up. But then like they'd be like, no, but Joker's a bad guy. But then Batman's like, no, I think you gotta try to rehabilitate him. And then like they were like, all of a sudden there's another guy who was like a lawyer man, and he was like trying to make like he was supposed to be like the good guy and supposed to turn the city around. But then he ends up being bad because someone like poured like acid all over his face, because like I guess he wanted to take a shower, and they did one of those pranks where they put like acid in his shampoo, and he's like scrubbing all over his face, and he's like, it burns. It's not my eye, but it burns. And so, but then when they started going like more in the movie is like 4 hours long, and it kept on going longer and longer, and you didn't know like where was the end, because it seemed like should have been like an hour and a half movie, but it wasn't. It was like longer. And like Batman had all these new gadgets, and it was like sort of like the downfall of Batman, because everything was going wrong for him, but everything was going right for the Joker, and everything was going good and good and good. I think it was just the Joker was misunderstood, because he was doing a lot of things good for the city. Like he was eradicating all the criminals in the whole place, and so but the Batman was just making things work and making more precautions and making everybody more paranoid and like making more vigilantes like him. And so they would go and like try to be telling about the evil guys, going on, but then like they couldn't tell, and so then they end up dying, and then like they end up putting people in jail. But then like towards the end, like Batman's trying to save everybody. He has to save them. He ends up like doing stuff where he ends up killing like the Donnie Darko girl, and then like they end up capturing the Joker. But then he was just hanging upside down, and like so like he was going to be back for another one. But then like the Toothpaste, all of a sudden like in a span of a day, he got all mean and was like, I'm gonna start being a bad guy now. But he's like more of a good guy because he was eradicating all the bad guys. So again, this is like a different type of movie, because the good guy in the movie, Batman, was actually a bad guy, and the bad guys in the movie, Joker and Two-Face, were actually good guys because they were trying to help out the city, because they kept on eradicating all the bad guys that were really everybody thought they were good. But my favorite part of the movie was like when he was like, I'll take the Ferrari.